Hey everybody, my name is OldSkuleNerd and I have no idea what's going on. See, right now we're live on twitch.tv/OldSkuleNerd and it's a Tuesday night. And usually on Tuesday nights, it's recording reactions for YouTube. And I have a list. Of people requests and songs from Patreon. I have requests of songs from viewers like all of you. And someone on Twitch says, you know what, you got to do this one. And they did a reaction request. And they're like, hey, you got to check this out. The band is called Born Through Fire. They're from Las Vegas. They put out a song about a year ago. It's called Blood, Fire, Pain. It's got almost 500,000 views. I have no idea how this is going to go with copyright. But when one of my peeps says, hey, can you do this reaction? I mean, how do I tell them no? Actually, it's very easy. I just go, no. But this time, I thought, that'd be a dick move. All right, so let's do it. This is called Blood, Fire, Pain from the band Born Through Fire. For all those playing along at home, I will have all of Born Through Fire's information in the description. So if you like this song, if you like the video, check it out. All right, here we go. Psychosocial. I'm sorry. Something else was in my head. My bad. Okay, only stopping it to kind of give my first approach on this. I call this Americana meat and potatoes metal. I mean, it's meat and potatoes. There's not a lot of salad in this song. So if you're expecting some, I mean, it is these guys hunt their elk. These guys they never miss a fucking Joe Rogan podcast. That's all I'm saying. This is a lot of testosterone in this video. But at the same time, when they go coming out of the chorus and they go into that metalcore segue where the rhythm section, your bass player and your bass player and drummer really put in a nice little hook in that rhythm, little flurry in there to kind of remind you that yes, the song has a very four on the floor meat and potatoes feel, but the band can give you more. They can be a little more dynamic. Now, if they're a band from Vegas and they're in the US music scene, you have most of the appeal from a lot of record labels and producers and distributors are going to say, well, we need songs that have a mass appeal to it. So we got to have, that meat and potatoes, but we got to follow the format. And you're seeing a lot of bands that don't do that. And they Periphery would be one. Vinter C, a lot of bands in the Northwest, because let's be honest, Pacific Northwest, they run by a different set of rules anyway. But you are seeing bands throughout the US that will step out and do something a little different. Now that I've said that, you don't have to do anything. You can literally be like this band's doing, go straight meat and potatoes. They know their demographic. They know that their demographic is not only metalheads, but Five Finger Death Punch fans, Americana rock, Shinedown, all the way to, just, blue collar, truck drivers, fire guys, just your straight up everyday guy. Also to the country crowd. You don't realize this, but all the country fans, the guys they'll play their Kenny Chesney and their Jason Aldean in the truck when the woman's there, drop off their girl at her husband's house. And then when they pull out, they're playing shit like this. Look, there's just a level of aggression that spans genres. So when you have a hook that's just meat and potatoes, you're hitting a broad spectrum. And they're hitting it. But at the same time, those of us who love progressive music, metalcore, more experimental type sounds, like I do, and a little culture in my stuff, the fact the band puts tags at the end of the chorus to remind you they are capable of anything, and there is a little bit of groove in there, kind of give you a little spice. I mean, so I like it. Is it something that's on my normal list? It will probably make the gym playlist because it makes me want to do things, maybe if I'm digging a hole or working in the yard. Yeah, this will make me go a little further. So it serves a purpose. Not exactly date music. Maybe, well, depends on how rough your girlfriend is. True. Somebody in Twitch is asking me about how accurate the forging is. Some of the forging is for visual effect, like, okay, he's using a coal fire forge. It's really well. A lot of your craftsmen will use propane forges now, gas, but a lot of the really old school primitive blacksmiths will still use coke fire, which is a coal fire, which is once it's heated and burning really good, you get some good air induction. Then you use water to turn the coal into coke, which then burns clean and much hotter, so you can get those iron temperatures up high enough to forge and make them pretty level. But they're using the forge kind of as a visual tool where they're putting the metal on top of raw coal. It's good for the visual. It's not good for the crafts work. So that part of it, I would say, is just for the visual. But it's obvious they got a friend of theirs somebody that the band knows is actually a blacksmith, like a legitimate. Because you could see the forge, the not only the anvil, but they also use a clamp, a full-size clamp. The hammers they're using are legit, and they're heating the metal properly. Another thing you don't realize is they're in a metal fabrication shop for this video. So there's probably some modern metalworking going on in this shop. Who knows, maybe even a couple of members of the band work in said metal shop. I mean, it makes sense. You're making a metal song, let's do metal. But yeah, there's a combination of primitive blacksmithing with coal and coke fire forge. And of course you have all this modern equipment you see around them. Some of it's done for just visual, but obviously they got a hold of somebody who takes this stuff very seriously, a craftsman, and gave him a good realistic look. So cheers. Oh, and by the way, I'm a primitive blacksmith. I just haven't done it in a long time, but I have like my forges in my shop. I have a hand cranked air bellow forge, 1906 hand cranked bellow forge with a clay lined belly coal forge under vented. Everything that I use is pre-electric. I have no electric equipment whatsoever, including my grinder, which is hand cranked. I just want to get into pretty blacksmithing. All my blacksmithing is to make like sconces, lantern hangers, fire pokers, simple stuff. I don't do elaborate bladesmithing and stuff, but we do have someone in my community that does bladesmithing, Minotaur Forge. You guys know him, Michael from Portland, Oregon. He does our weekly Dungeons and Dragons streams with his son. He's one of our dungeon masters. He's actually a bladesmith. Made me a beautiful carving knife. When I first started my channel, absolutely beautiful. I've been wanting him to make me a cleaver for a while. He will get to it eventually, but when he does, great. Awesome. Yeah, I am a blacksmith. Just out of practice. I stopped blacksmithing to do something else. U-Space, MyTube, FaceTube. I started a hobby and a couple years ago, and I haven't been a blacksmith since. I forgot what it was, but it's not important. Okay, this has a Gojira feel to it, so now I'm in. Before it seemed very simple, but they've built this up really nice. Now your rhythm section is really filling out, less 4 on the floor, more elaborate. They're pushing the limit. It kind of has that low-end Gojira feel to it now. The elongated howl scream in the back, just kind of giving that emotion build. Well crafted, guys. Well crafted. You have my attention now. This is starting to piss me off now. First, I was giving this band grief that they were meat and potatoes, Americana style rock. They're busting out with some Gojira vibes to me, which I dig. By the way, for those who don't know, Gojira is from France. Viva la Gojira. It's true. Yeah, so the guy was heating a brand on the forge, so you don't have to immerse it. You just have to kind of heat it up. I get it. I mean, if I don't want to, it's. I think that a music video about metal is the last place where you want to be critical of blacksmithing techniques. So I don't think that fucking matters. What does matter is the cello in the beginning set a tone that I completely forgot about. Because he's putting coal in his forge right now. That's a big coal forge, by the way. That is a big coke forge. That's a big one. That's the kind of person that's making like large instruments. Yeah, see that could, ooh, there you go, right there, watch. Check it out, right here. This is coke fire. See how it's lined out and it's coming through vents? This is where it's turned from coal into coke. Now, when you get your iron into a coke fire, it burns very, very clean, but it's super hot. So only the stuff that you see is just visible. Most of your heat is more of a blue and white flame deep within the coke fire. So once you get that coke fire to settle down deeper into the coke in that turned coal, man, the temperatures down there you can literally burn metal, which is pretty cool. All right, everybody. That was my first ever reaction to Blood, Fire, Pain, requested by one of my amazing audience members here in the Twitch stream. So yeah, it does happen, people. It does happen. All right, so for that, I have all of Born Through Fire's information in description. Please check them out. I was impressed. I liked it. I had some assumptions at the beginning. I was completely wrong. Threw me for a loop on the end. Nice build out. Good story building. Love the way they finished it out. Very dynamic. A lot of rhythm sections in there that kind of reminded me of a Gojira feel, which I love. Outstanding. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that one. My name is OldSkuleNerd, and we'll see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like. It really helps the channel grow. Also, if you want to subscribe, right there. Big thank you to all my Patreons out there. We appreciate everything you do. If you want more content like this video, check them out above. Remember, love one another, take care of each other. We're all stuck on this mud ball together. We'll see you later.